focus on why am I joining? Why did I decide to put my name on the line, my background on the line with Live Pure? And I'm going to go over that with you today. We're going to talk again about coffee today. And, PureCAFE is coming, baby. I'm fired up, and you will be too after this call. So here's the test. After this call, if you can sleep tonight, then you need to come back and hear this one more time. And so, a lot of people wanted this call recorded. So I'm going to, are you recording it?
I set it to record, Shane.
Awesome. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. So and then I'm going to be introducing you to the Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing. Randy Crane is in the house, followed by Randy is going to be the president, the one and only Rick Redford is in the house. So you won't want to miss this. And then I'm going to conclude today with the simple actions that we can take between now and when PureCAFE goes live. All right. There's an amazing, I call it the perfect storm, and you'll know everything is coming together. There's a perfect storm that we've created here. And I'm fired up. I'm excited. I know a lot of people I've talked to, and I see Ivan in the room, and I'm seeing some of the faces here. Everyone looks a little scared. Maybe smile. Everyone, let's start off with a smile, because something big is coming. Okay, something really, really huge is coming, and the purpose of this call is really to make it formal, and I've invited started about a week ago. Invited a few friends, and started telling them about this coffee project that we're working on and the purpose of it, and what the potential is. And I mean, we got people fired up. So I don't know how many people are in the room here, but it's a lot more than we're used to here in one shot. So next time I'm gonna have someone come in and guide. We still have people, coming into the room. So for those of you who we haven't met yet, my name is Shane Morand. Back in 2008, I started a marketing concept from scratch, and took a company from zero, meaning there was no money, to $1 billion in combined sales within a 5-year period. And we didn't have the IT, we didn't have a logo, we didn't have a website when we started. What I'm excited about, we created $1 billion, I guess, many millionaires, and grew a massive organization all over the world. I'm about to do it again. And that's why I'm so fired up, because I'm excited, because people need what we're about to talk about here. I don't know if you're sensing this where you are, but everywhere in the world where I've been traveling lately, I see people are in, they need help. People are needing a little bit of extra money to put their kids through, maybe to a better school, or maybe even take a vacation, or just get by, pay the bills. And we have something incredible, easy, simple, that the everyday average person can participate in. And that's what I'm going to be going over with you today. So with that, let me talk about why Shane Morand has decided to, plant the flag right here. Family. I know there's a lot of people, I guess, joining in from Live Pure, but now we're family. All right. So my family, it's awesome to be here. 3 reasons. All right. Number one, and the first and the most important to me, is the CEO, Mr. Jung. I got to meet him personally. I got to hear his vision. It was very important for me to meet him, not just to hear about this legend, but to meet him. And what's really unique is that he has a very, very strong vision. And I'm going to be talking something in particular tonight that is a paradigm shift in the industry. And some of you that have already been with the company, you're already aware of this, but I'm going to highlight it. For those that are just taking a look at what's happening and what's coming, I'm going to talk about a paradigm shift in the way that network marketing is possibly done in the future. It's the model. He's cracked the code, I believe. So reason number one is not only Mr. Jung's vision, but it's the whole corporate team. I got to meet and spend time with everyone down in corporate, down in Dallas or in the Frisco area, and including, Rick Redford, who you're going to meet. Amazing, real president of a company. A lot of these companies that we look at, sometimes the person says, I'm the CEO, but what they don't tell you is they're a distributor competing with the field, right? And that's not cool. And so Rick is a real president. I love it. I said, we've got someone real in there. He loves the field. He loves to be with the field. You can see he gets all enthusiastic about that. But he's a corporate. He's in corporate, and he makes sure that the corporate activities are handled properly and legally, which is important. I got to spend time with Randy Crane, phenomenal senior vice president of marketing. You'll get to hear from him tonight too. For those that don't know Randy, you're in for a treat. And so that's the first reason is corporate. I looked at corporate and said, man, check. Everything is good. And everybody else at corporate, if someone else in corporate is in the room, I apologize, but I met everyone from accounting to the design team, to operation, everything. I met everyone down there. So I'm fired up about that, number one. The second reason is this paradigm that I keep on referring to, that I'm trying to get my words around to explain it properly. I don't want to, because I'll refine it as I get better and better at this, but it is this customer acquisition concept, or this customer retention concept, that Mr. Jung developed back in 2019. And as I went to corporate and I said, show me the compensation plan, that was not the first thing I asked for. It was the last thing I asked for, because the products are the first thing, right? You want to make sure the products are high quality. But at the end, I said, now let's look at the comp plan. And so we started going through it. And as soon as they got to this customer retention program, you can stop it right there, because that's all I need to know. I mean, if you have a pen and a piece of paper, you want to write this down. Most people join network marketing because they want to make money. And a lot of network marketers don't make money because they're busy recruiting, when we really need to focus on, if the product is that good, let's go get a customer, right? If your product is that good, no matter what the product is, shouldn't you be able to easily get a customer? And so we're going to take, and then, so when I saw this, and when we combine this paradigm with coffee, okay, it's a game changer. And when he explained to me in detail that if you can just go get, over time, we can take an average person, forget about the network marketing superstars. I'm talking about an average person that probably thinks network marketing is illegal, or a person that just trying to make a couple $100 or $1,000 a month, right? If you follow this customer retention program, where we go out and get real customers with a real product that is a real benefit to that customer, and we can accumulate, there's a sliding scale, but I'm going right for the top. It's called a 5-star. Okay, write this down, a 5-star. For those that know what I'm talking about, you already know. For those that are just coming in, taking a look, because you know there's something big coming, you want to write this down. So at the very, very top of this customer acquisition concept is what's called a 5-star. When you've accumulated $2,000 in repeat orders from real customers, okay, not from distributors moving packages and doing all that stuff. That's cool. That's great. But only a few can do that really well. The majority of the people, the 90%, the 95% of the people out there, let's go help them get some customers. And so, but when you can accumulate $2,000 in repeat orders, and that would include your personal orders up to $400. Okay, up to $400. But when you hit that, check this out. All right, is everyone sitting down? When you've accumulated $2,000 in repeat orders from your customers, which could include up to $400 of your own personal consumption, you are now a 50-50 partner with the company. Did everyone hear that? You're a fit. What does that mean? That means every time a customer orders, or they reorder, or they order again, or they order something else, and they order, you make 50%, the company makes 50%. And when I saw that, I went, holy smokes. So I said to Mr. Jung, I said, you're telling me that if I can produce $200,000 in monthly volume from customers, that I'll make $100,000 a month? And you know what his answer was? He said, every month. He says, yes, you make that every month. It's like, this is a paradigm shift. All right. Again, I'm going to get better at explaining this, and I'm going to go, everywhere to explain this one concept, because now we can include the 99% of the people out there that don't know what network marketing is. They don't like it. They think it's a bad thing. Now we come in with a powerhouse, product. So that's the second reason is this this concept, this paradigm shift. You know, there's a lot of companies that are going to be in trouble. Why is that? Not Live Pure, you know, not Live Pure, but a lot of companies, all they're doing is moving packages amongst friends. You know, they're just moving. There's no customer, there's no end customer. And so they've put into place solidly. And I said, can you, and I asked the question, can you do this? Are you going to be able to stay in business, you know, paying out 50? And he said, Shane, we've been doing this model since 2019, never been late, never missed a paycheck, by the way, in 17 years. So Live Pure, for those that are new here, I want to talk maybe to those that are new, not to those that are already involved in Live Pure, if that's okay with everyone. But Live Pure is a 17-year-old company. You know, Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, he was one of the early investors in this company, right? In this company. He saw something in this company and invested very early in the early days. So 17 years, never been late on a paycheck to a brand partner, never missed a check, right? So we're still on number 2 about this, you know, thing that I'm really fired up about, and that is this paradigm shift of taking an average person, teaching them how to get a few customers, and they can develop a real good income. So let's say you get to the $2,000 level over time. Now there's a sliding scale. It starts at 5%, 10, 20, 30, 40%, and then 50% at 2,000. So it goes, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. All right. And I'm talking about the top 50%. So 50-50. So at $2,000, you make $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month, half. I mean, I look, guys, if you can't get excited about that, I don't know what, I can't help you. And I'm talking to the average person that maybe has never had success in network marketing. Okay. So that's the second reason. The third, there's going to be a test here. So I hope you're taking notes, everyone, right? But the third reason that I'm really, really fired up is that the company, Live Pure, has 80 world-class, and I'm talking world-class products that are not only like awesome, they're health related, but they're endorsed by over 400 healthcare professionals. That's called a clue. Okay. 400 healthcare professionals don't come around and say, hey, we're going to recommend these products to all of our clients if the products aren't amazing. Right. And so that to me has me fired up, and wait till you hear what's coming. Right. So let's combine what I'm talking about here. Those are the 3 reasons that they've already got a solid powerhouse line of products that are sitting there. And I compare these products, you know, because I'm just an average guy, right? If you can mute your mic, everyone, that would be cool. Whoever's, if we can find that whoever that person is. Thank you very much. Yeah. So if we could take all of that, and then now we're going to combine it with coffee, because coffee's coming. All right. And it's not just any coffee. This is going to be, we've been doing tests on this particular blend and brand for over 1 year on 5 continents, and it's 100%. I mean, we'll go head to head with any coffee company anywhere in the world, taste test, and we'll win every single time. People will choose our coffee thinking it's their coffee, right? This is what's happening. From everyone from novices to people who think they're coffee connoisseurs, they're picking this coffee. So I'll talk a little bit about that, but let me just talk about coffee for a second and why this is so exciting. What Live Pure has, this is just my opinion. All right. I'm just my opinion here. Live Pure has these 80 powerhouse products and 80 products that are world-class, supported by 400 healthcare practitioners. But as an individual, you know, I was asking people, hey, have you ever been on a cruise? Has anybody been on a cruise? Put your hand up if you've been on a cruise. Okay, a lot of people have been on a cruise, huh? Okay, how many would like to go on a cruise? Can I see your hands? How many are putting up your hands no matter what I say, right? But you know what? I asked the question, what's the best part of a cruise? What's the thing that I like the most about the cruise? You know what it is? It's the buffet, right? It's the buffet. You walk in there, man. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? You walk in there and you got the dessert, like for a row of dessert after dessert. You've got the pasta over here, the hamburgers, you've got the steak if you want, you've got the Italian, you've got everything you could ask for. And the way I looked at this was like, what is there now? It's like me bringing a friend into a buffet. They've got all this beautiful stuff, but I don't know where to start. I'm not a healthcare practitioner myself, and most people aren't. And so when I bring my friend into Pure, I don't know whether they want to lose weight. I don't know if they need more energy. I don't know if they are, want to get into the sports athlete. I don't know if they want the world-class, beauty products. And so what if we led as the tip of the spear with coffee? You follow me? Coffee. What do you mean by that? Well, how many people, raise a hand, whether you drink coffee or not, how many people know a bunch of people who drink coffee every day? Like every day, right? Let me tell you a little bit about coffee. Coffee is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water. It's water and it's coffee, right? Coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. Oil, then coffee. The average American, and the Canadians are the same, guys, but the average American Canadian consumes anywhere from 3 to 5 cups per day, every single day, 365 days a year. They're drinking coffee everywhere. Everybody, how many are drinking, be honest, how many are drinking coffee right now? Look, you see, that's going to change because you're going to be drinking something awesome soon, right? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. And so I'm fired. That's why is anyone else getting fired up, or is it just me here? I don't know. It's getting hot in here. All right. Woo, 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 woo. Here we go. So the average, I'm just going to focus on Canada, US right now, but there's people all over the world drinking coffee. We can use similar numbers, but the average Canadian and American, check this out. They're spending $175 a month average on coffee. And I get people say, that can't be true. Oh, yeah? How many cups do you drink a day? And they'll say 3 to 5, whatever it is. How much you're spending a cup? And they'll do their calculation. I said, multiply that number by 30. And holy smokes, they're spending more than $175 every month. The thing is that when you take out a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, $5 here, $5 there, whatever, you don't know that this is adding up over a month. But when you stop and think about it, coffee is being consumed and consumed and consumed, right? And so there's a lot of things. Now, we're not going to ask people now, as we lead in and as the tip of the spear here, starting in February, we'll talk about the rollout plan in a second here, but starting in February, we're going live with this coffee. If we can keep it in inventory, and we'll address this in a second here, but it's going to fly off the shelves like you've never seen. I'm just warning you. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about, and it's because of what we have and what's coming. But we're not asking people to take more money out of their pocket and spend. We're just saying, stop drinking that stuff. As a matter of fact, how many healthcare practitioners out of the 400 are telling their patients, their clients, stop drinking coffee, stop drinking coffee? Well, when they've learned about this already. Some of them know. Some of them on the President's Council, they already know what's coming. They already know what's in the coffee, and they are fired up, excited, because every one of their customers, every one of their clients is going to be drinking not any coffee. They're going to be drinking PureCAFE. All right. And so, as you can see, I'm getting fired up. I don't know if you're getting fired up, but if you can see the simplicity of what we're putting together here. Now, as we go in with the tip of the spear and we have a simple conversation with somebody about coffee. Hey, do you drink coffee? Here, let's give it a try. Give this a try. So we're going to talk about our one-step project. It's one step. In my previous venture, I created something called the 4 questions, 4 steps. It took us to $1 billion in 5 years in combined sales. And I said, how would I do it a little differently here to make it even more powerful, to make it even more effective? And I thought, why don't we just do one step? And what is that? Just try the coffee. Training over. Just try the coffee. How many people in the next 60 days can you just ask, hey, do you drink coffee over Christmas? Hey, do you drink coffee? Yeah, as they're drinking a cup of coffee, they're going to look at their coffee and look at you and think, are you crazy? I'm drinking a coffee right now. So as you ask them, look, we're coming out with a real powerful coffee. I'll tell you a little bit about it in a second here. But would you be willing to maybe just buy a box or two just to help me out here? Buy a box or two, just give it a try. If you like it, I'll show you how you can get it at wholesale. If you don't like it, I'll never talk to you about my coffee again, but you're going to love it. You're going to love it. And so you want to know, a cool thing to do is just tell someone you're going to send them some samples and don't do it. They will kick your door down looking for those samples. Now, what makes this coffee so special? You're asking, right? Well, Live Pure has secured the global rights to two things, not one thing, to two things. They've got the global rights on the technology that is used to do what we're doing, because it's not simple. It's not a simple deal. And the actual formula that we've put together that's going to knock what the healthcare practitioners are going to have a field day with this one. But we've got it is, according to science, the most nutritionally perfect natural substance that you can put into the human body is going in our coffee. Okay, in PureCAFE. Okay, and it's called cordyceps. And you can look it up, and they're pure, organic, natural cordyceps, very powerful, very potent. But here's what happens. We've got the world's #1 formulator that has figured out, and this is where it gets really interesting. How do you get those cordyceps into the coffee without changing the taste? Because there's a lot of coffee companies, and there's a lot of companies, hey, we could do this, and we've got that. But if your coffee, for the coffee drinkers out there, tastes like a garbage can, you're not going to drink it. It doesn't matter how many, nutrients and everything. Hey, we got this and we got that and we got that. Yeah, but if it tastes like garbage, you might drink it for a month, but you're not going to reorder it. But what if it was a gourmet taste and we got 3 seconds, guys? And that's why I'm saying just give it a try. You got 3 seconds. And I'm telling you right now, within 3 seconds, the person who's tasting it, they're going to know what as a matter of fact, a lot of Rick might talk about this, but the President's Council, the top leaders of the company, they've already sampled and they are freaking out. Everybody wants samples, right? And I'm saying, I said, Rick, it doesn't matter how many samples we give them, 1,000 samples. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough because they're going to share it with someone and they're going to want it. And they have a friend who has a friend who drinks coffee and a mother and a cousin who drinks coffee. Can you guys see how this is going to go viral? And so as it's going viral, guess what we have behind the curtain, ladies and gentlemen? Live Pure, an 80 world-class proven product. This is the perfect storm, right? So we're going to use coffee to spearhead, and people start drinking the coffee. Oh my God, I'm wondering, they're going to call you up and say, is it a coincidence? But I'm sleeping better. Is it a coincidence? But geez, I had an ache in my shoulder and it's not there anymore. Is it the coffee? We're going to say, no, it's not the coffee. It's the cordyceps in the coffee that you can't see, you can't taste, you can't smell, but you're going to feel. All right. So it's the coffee that we got 3 seconds. They'll taste it and they're going to notice it's amazing. And then sometimes within a half a cup, people are going to start feeling it already. And sometimes it'll take 2 or 3 days, but they'll start noticing. And we say, notice how you feel. Notice how you feel as you're drinking the coffee, right? And you ditch whatever coffee you're drinking, whatever your coffee you're drinking. So everyone, I can see you guys, and I know where you live. So whatever you're drinking in your cup, after February, I better not see you. I'm coming to your house, and I'm going to just put that stuff in the garbage, and you're going to have tear you down. So regular coffee, and again, I'm not against coffee, kind of. But I'm not really against caffeine. It's just that it does have a negative impact on the body, on the nervous system, on the brain. It has long-term, it's going to have some negative impact. By the way, I can't tell you what I'm drinking. Okay. Sorry. I can't tell you what I'm drinking, but it rhymes with pure. Okay. All right. So I'm excited about this. So what makes the coffee so special? It's called cordyceps in there. We've infused it. Live Pure has the proprietary access to that. Nobody else can. They can pretend, they can put a bunch of stuff in there and say, hey, we have it, and say, let me taste it. It's like, okay, good, have fun with that, right? So it's got to taste good and it's got to have an impact. It's got to have an impact. If there's nothing there, if people are drinking it and they're saying, I don't notice anything, then we have nothing, right? So we've got both. It's a 1-2 punch. And so I'm really excited about that there's so many healthcare practitioners. That means I don't have to be the healthcare practitioner. And I don't want anyone here, if you're not already a healthcare, don't go down that road. You know, tell me about cordyceps. I don't know, man. Maybe you can talk to one of our 400 healthcare practitioners. They'll tell you all about it. But all I know is I'm drinking it and I feel great. Well, what does it do? Well, makes me feel good. Well, how do the cordyceps work? They work well for me, man. Why don't you give it a try? So the only mission, it's a one step. Give it a try. Just give it a try, right? Can everyone do that? Can you put your hand up and say, I think I could do this? Even if you're not a networker, even if you're shy, even if you have no contacts, right? Can you go up to someone and say, hey, can you give my coffee a try? Just give it a try just to see how you like it. Can you do that? So that's what we're talking about. That's the simplicity, and that's how fast this is going to grow. So I'm fired up. I want to take a second here and introduce you to Randy Crane. Maybe come on for some comments. We've had a lot of discussions. This has not been something that we just made up last week. We've been talking for an extended period of time, and I'm really proud to call Randy a friend. And Randy, if you can jump on here, I don't know, you're already on. Hey, come and say hi to everyone. We can hear you. Yeah, where are you?
Wonderful. Hey,
I got to see you.
I'm right here.
Okay.
There you go.
There he is.
Shane, first of all, thank you so much for being a part of this. We are lit up. I got to meet Shane face to face. We've done Zooms for it seems like months now in preparation for this opportunity. And getting to meet Shane face to face, I've known who Shane is. I know the name Shane Morand. And meeting him, I was blown away that he's a human being. He wasn't 8 feet tall walking in the room when we first met him. And just a good human being. Those are the kind of people that I want to do business with. And then the powerhouse that he brings with him, that the coffee is amazing. It's actually, we sampled to our presidential council. This company's been around, like Shane said, 17 years. We're debt-free. We're cash flow positive. We've never missed a commission check in our company's history. But then you walk in the door and this powerhouse comes and brings this amazing product. We sampled it to our presidential council, and it actually created a problem. Because I have not had a single day since we sent these small amount of samples to our president's council where I don't get a call saying, hey, Randy, you got a little extra. Can you send it to me? I don't have any extra, and I wish I did. But again, like you said, Shane, it wouldn't be enough. I think that we are lucky to be in this circumstance. I think us as a company, you as field leaders, I think you're lucky. And my definition of lucky is a little bit different than most people. My definition of lucky is being prepared for the blessing of opportunity when it presents itself. This opportunity has presented itself to us. It's presented itself to you. Shane, I'm so excited to work with you. You truly are a gentleman. You've got the best Canadian jokes I've also ever heard. And I'm excited to build this with you. The fact that this company has the 80 products, as he has mentioned, that has an 87% reorder rate on those products. And we add this amazing coffee, your strength, the power of your teams, and your relationships to this already existing entity that is flowing perfectly. We're thrilled to be a part of this. We think it's the perfect storm. Shane, thank you so much, my friend.
Awesome, Randy. It's going to be a fun journey. I mean, when I spent some time with Randy, man, he's just phenomenal. Every other, a half an hour, he would come up with something. I said, what? Oh yeah, he's a fighter, by the way. Be careful with Randy. He knows some serious fighting moves, man. And we were talking about hockey, right? And for those Canadians out there, hockey, we like to fight. I mean, and then Randy goes, oh yeah. And he starts telling me about his Brazilian jiu-jitsu and all this stuff. And he shows me a picture. And I'm going, oh my God, this dude. Yeah. Okay. It's awesome. I just got to make sure I keep my distance a little bit sometimes, but thank you so much, Randy, for
long time ago, Shane, long time ago.
Yeah. You never forget it though, huh? It's awesome. So, that's great. Now, it's my pleasure also to introduce you to the president of the company. His name is Rick Redford. Yes, for those who are asking, is he related? Yes, he's related. He's a Redford. You'll see how he's a handsome dude. He's the president of the company. He's a real president of the company. He reports to the CEO. of this company. And but the one thing that really stuck out, it's obvious. You'll see in a second. He loves the field. He's a president that, a lot of the presidents, they can't stand the field. They can't stand the people in the field. It's kind of weird. He loves to be in the field. He loves to be doing field activities with the people, with the leaders. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to Rick Redford, president of Live Pure. Rick, come on. And I want you to talk about something very specific here. There he is, Rick Redford.
Thank you. Yes, it's Saturday morning in Utah. Randy's like showing me up here because this is my third Zoom this morning, so I'm a little. I didn't get a chance to shower, but Shane said, "Hey, can I invite you to a call with a couple of leaders on Saturday?" I guess that was an undersell. So I promise next time I'll be properly coiffed.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Well, Rick,
thanks, Shane. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, what I want to talk, maybe have a discussion with you right here, because this is huge. We have this perfect storm. We've got people coming into the system. A lot of them are coming in just as brand partners. We've got from today, right now, because this is an official announcement. This is official now. You can go ahead. We're going to record this video. You can use it. I'm going to be doing calls for all kinds of leaders. I'll be doing calls via Rick with people that are already in Live Pure, that already have organizations, to help them get the simple concept. But I want to talk about this phenomenon of these next 60 days, December, January, as we lead into February 24. It's critical, and it's an opportunity for, if you're listening to my voice right now, you have an opportunity to set up your family for generations to come. It's coffee. You don't sell coffee to people, by the way. People buy coffee. They buy it every day. So it's just coffee. It's simple. People don't forget. You don't have to remind them, hey, did you drink your coffee today? They drink their coffee. They're going to say, what are you talking about? So once they become a customer, you don't have to remind them to keep drinking it. Once they start feeling good, you don't have to remind them. They'll kick your door down if you don't have any. And so one of my big concerns that I talked to Rick about many times, I said, Rick, when this thing hits, when this product comes into North America, let's say it comes into US and Canada. Let's just talk US and Canada right now. We have other countries and we'll roll that out. But let's say it comes into US. When that product hits the market, it's like a hockey stick. It's going to go straight up. Why is that? Because I get the product, go, holy, this is really good. How many people do I know that drink coffee? And I'm going to be telling in a natural way about the coffee. I'm going to be telling them about natural ways. So I want to really focus in on the opportunity between now and the strategy that we've come up with to make sure that we can, that we can handle the volume that's about to hit this company.
Yeah, thank you, Shane. And can I highlight a couple of things that have been said about the company as well? Just because I joined, in fact, a year ago today was my start date with. So it's my 1 year anniversary today. I was with this company back in 2009 to 2011. I've been in the industry about 30 years, and I was invited back, and the CEO and the chairman of the company, Mr. Jung, is a close friend of mine. We have a 26-year working history together, and he called me and asked me, and these are the words he said: "Would you be willing to come down and talk to me about coming back to the company as president?" And I said, "Mr. Jung, you know how much I love and respect you. Of course I would." And without really the expectations, because you don't know. I knew enough because I've been here before. But what I saw, and it's something that Randy said, that we're and Shane as well, we're almost a 17-year-old company. I say 17, but it's like 16 and a half, 16 and 2/3, and debt free. And when I say debt free, there's companies out there prescribing to be debt free, but they still owe shareholders. They still owe, it may not be revolving debt, it may not be short-term debt or long-term debt, but if they owe shareholders, they're not debt free. And I think that's a very interesting description. We paid our shareholders back years ago, so we are completely debt free. We are cash flow positive, which allows us to inventory manage in a way that is not only responsible but also very aggressive. This is something. If you don't remember anything else I said, remember this: we have as Shane said, over 80 products. There's actually, if you know what a SKU is, it's called shelf caping unit. If we have over 140 SKUs, because of those 80 products, some have different forms and flavors. we do not have a single out of stock. Now, I've been in this industry a long time, and there's always issues related to inventory and do you have enough and can you forecast properly? It says a lot about our ability to manage inventory. We try to keep 90 days in stock, plus on the water, plus being manufactured, so that we don't get in that position. I can't make the guarantee we'll never have an out of stock, just because you can't do that. But the relationship with our every week we have an operations meeting, an inventory management meeting that I'm a part of. This is a really great a great fact of this company, is our ability to manage these inventories. And so part of that is when you introduce a new product, and I'm getting around to your question, Shane. When you introduce a new product and you don't have an experience with that product, you can't just go out and buy 17 containers full. You just don't know what you don't know yet. And so how do you create a demand, but at the same time be respectful of the cash involved in inventory management? When you have over 80 products, you can imagine the millions of dollars tied up in inventory. And so Shane and I, as we were talking through this process, came up with a plan. Because the other thing I won't do, and I think it's important to say this, I will not take your credit card until we have product to ship you. It is a slippery slope, and it's actually, if you're within 2 weeks, it doesn't fall in a legal issue. But if you're outside of 2 weeks, if you're getting into a month or 2 months before you're shipping product, you've already taken commission, or you've already taken credit cards and paid commissions. That is a very, very, I'll just say it's a poisonous slope. You don't want to be a part of that. So for me, it's very important that I don't do that. But how do you create the demand? So we've created a staging process. There's different phases. This month, we're going out to our President's Council and a few other of the top leaders and asking for their pre-commitment. And this is going to be a formal pre-commitment. It starts next Friday. And there are a couple of people on this call that will be a part of that. So if you want to be a part of that through them, then let them know this. Don't type anything in the chat right now, because there's no facts I can give you, but we'll go with this. And my belief is in the next 2 weeks, we'll sell out of the first container in terms of pre-commitments. Then what we'll do is we will place a second PO. And then we'll do the same thing in January and spread it out. There will be a 2-case minimum in the December pre-order. In the January pre-sale or pre-commitment phase, then it'll be a 1-case minimum. And remember, we have 2 different flavors. We have a black, which is called Bold, and it is a really high-end, very rich, bold tasting coffee. You had the package there you held up a second ago, Shane. And the second one is Latte, but it is a cream and caramel. And instead of, there's no sugar added, it's cream and caramel as a sweetener. It's so good. And so that'll be a 1-case minimum starting in January. And I believe that we'll sell out of the second container in January, again, without taking any orders. And the goal is, when we launch this, so we don't have a date yet because product is being manufactured. In fact, Shane sent a video this week. I got pretty excited. And it's in process. And then once it's on the water, we'll have an idea of when the arrival date. So as Shane said, somewhere in the January, February date, we just don't have a firm date yet. Once we know that, then we'll schedule an event. We'll be able to have a launch date. And my belief, and I know Shane shares this, that we'll more than likely have pre-sold or pre-committed 3 to 4 containers full, which, if it's 3 containers, just want to give you an idea of what that means. That's $3.5 million. If you're a part of that, or if you have that as part of your organization, think of what that does for that check in that launch period. Think of what it does for rank advancements, for people in your organization that can make that extra $300 or $400 or $500 that month or that week, and what that could mean into your business. So we are aggressively pursuing this. We believe this product is going to be our top selling product. Sometimes people say, and I say it this way when they ask about our products, I have some good news and some bad news. Shane, the good news is we have 80 products. The bad news is we have 80 products. It's all about perspective. And what that means is, if you find out about those 80 products before you're in the room, what happens is you're like, oh my gosh, that's just too many products. I don't know where to start. How do I talk about this? However, when you are in the room drinking the coffee, And you say, what else do you have? And then we also start talking about the product. You should have seen Shane's face when he saw these products and we started telling him about these products. His eyes just lit up. He's like, holy cow, you have that, you have that, you have that. And so it's a perspective when it comes to the number of products we have. So honestly, we're excited about this relationship. We're excited about the future. We are not underestimating, as far as I can tell today, of the success that this product is going to have with our company. And I just want to thank Shane for I'm just going to do that for a second. I want to thank Shane for bringing his expertise, his humanity. I agree with Randy. When we say regular guy, some people have a hang factor. For those of you who've been in this industry a long time, you know that there are people that you love doing business with and you love to be at events with, but you just wouldn't really hang out with them. It just, you don't have that kind of shared personality. We went to dinner together, the three of us, Shane, Randy, and I. And I could have sat there for 3 or 4 hours. We talked about life. We talked about hockey. We talked about Italy. We talked about family. And it was just an incredible time among friends. And that's what I love most about this industry. Shane hit it on the nose. I am corporate. I do not have a position. It's against our regulations for a corporate person to have a position in the field. I think that's a conflict of interest. I think it's an integrity issue. If we're competing against you, then that's the wrong way to approach the business. We are corporate only. But man, getting up and being on this call today, I got excited to meet some new leaders. I didn't realize there was going to be 130 new leaders and new friends, but this is really exciting, Shane. So anything else you want me to share today?
Awesome. I think that's great because I want to we'll stay on here for a second because I want one more little section here. But just before we come back to Rick, I want to talk about a strategy that for those that are new, okay, if you're already involved with Live Pure, follow your system, follow your leaders, do your thing. But for those that are just coming in, just learning about this, learning about the coffee, between now, write the date down, December 2nd, and between, let's call it February 2024, 2 a day. Just write this down, 2 a day. Can you reach out to 2 people a day just to ask if they drink coffee and if they'd be willing to help, if they would be willing to try a box or 2? How much is it? It's about $1 a cup. Would you like a box or 2? Maybe try the black and try the latte. Black is bold. It's a bold black. For those that drink it black, you're not going to fool them with a cheap cup of coffee, right? And so we've got it down to a science. The latte is, I describe it as a liquid dessert in a cup. When people try the latte, it's like it's game over. When they sip it again, we can do all this in 3 seconds, right? Can you buy a box or 2? Can I put? We can't take your money, and neither can we take any money from anybody with the coffee. And Rick just said, we're not taking any money, guys, not until February, not until the product is in the warehouse. And then they have a strategic plan, first order in, first order out, but it's no credit cards required. So eventually you'll be given a form, fill it out, no credit card. But when that product comes in, you'll be given the opportunity to go ahead and make that purchase. Now, how could you move multiple cases? I'm talking multiple cases. There's 30 boxes per case. Okay. If you want to write this stuff down, I'll go over it again and again. Don't worry, but 30 boxes in a case. How can I move 30 boxes? How can I move a case, 2 cases, 5 cases, 10 cases, 20 cases by February? It's just by contacting a couple people a day, and not to try to get them in your business, just to ask if they drink coffee. And if, can I put you down on my list of people that I'm going to be, and maybe in your community. And so when the coffee comes, you've already got 5, 6, 7 cases spoken for. That's what I'm talking about. When those cases come in and that gets distributed to customers, remember what I talked about, what I'm most excited about, to real customers. They don't have to join your business. Imagine that you're making 50% on every time they not only order, but every time they reorder again and again and again. And oh, by the way, then they see this product and that product, and they add it to their monthly order, and you're still making 50%. So the strategy is quite simple. 2 a day. How many can do like 2 a day? And again, you don't have to get into the big pitch. You just say, hey, we're coming out with a breakthrough coffee. We'll go head to head. You have to trust me on this, or maybe talk to the president's council. This coffee is very special. And we're not afraid. We could go head to head with any coffee company in the world, sip by sip, and they will choose our coffee 100% of the time. All right. That's the reality. That's what we have. And so you don't have to worry. Are the people going to like it? Because when I first got started, I was wondering, what if people don't like the coffee? What if I don't know? Oh my God, it's gonna be, oh, well, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. We've made sure that that's never going to be a concern. So 2 a day, meaning talk to 2 people a day. Hey, do you drink coffee? And it's a conversation. Do you drink coffee? Yeah. Look, I'm getting some coffee coming in February. When it comes in, can I count you in for a couple boxes? How much is it? It's about $1 a cup. How much you paying now? $3, $4, $5 a cup. I ask people often, how much you pay for a cup of coffee where you are? And it's anywhere from $3 to $5, sometimes $6 a cup. I love Starbucks. I mean, I love the way they put their prices up like that. And I said, well, what would you be willing to pay if it not only tasted as good or better than your favorite coffee, but if there was a component in there that made you feel good? And they would always say they'd pay as much or more. Well, I said, what about $1 a cup? And they go, what? Yeah, it's $1 a cup, right? And so that's the answer to how much is the coffee. It's about $1 a cup. So now you put them on the list. You can't take the credit card, and we're not taking your credit card. So now you've got this list accumulating every day for free. You just keep on accumulating that list of customers, of potential customers that have said they'll take a couple boxes. Now you calculate how many boxes are spoken for, and you can easily see, hey, I need 6 cases, or I need 5 cases, or I need a case, or I need whatever amount of cases. That's how you launch your business. That's how you launch your business. So and that's why I'm saying, when that coffee hits the market, when those first containers come in and go out the door, guys, fasten your seatbelt. Everyone on this call, I think you're privileged, because it's the first call that I've done, very, very first call. Now this week, I'm going to pack out doing calls for all kinds of leaders. They want to do their own private call, no problem. It's the same message. Okay, I'm going to be giving the same message. It doesn't change for one group to the other. No strategy, simple strategy. It's easy. It's just coffee. Right. And so how do the cordyceps work? I really don't know. All I know is that they make me feel good. Right. And what do? They make me feel good. And how does it work? It works well for me. And so your one step, give it a try. Just make a commitment to give it a try. Buy a box or 2. Let me put you on my list. Compile that list. And now you'll know how many cases that you need. And then from there, order your cases, get the coffee out, and watch what happens to your business. Watch what happens to your business. I mean, we don't need network marketers. I mean, it's not that we don't love them. We need people that like coffee and that know people that like coffee, because when they see the simplicity, you're going to have non-network marketers. And I'm telling you right now, I'm just telling we're in December now. The coffee's not even here, but I'm telling you that within the next 6 months, we will have people earning full-time incomes that would never have done network marketing. They're not interested in it because they think it's very complicated and dual team and get to diamond and generational, all of that stuff. It's important to get into that stuff in advanced training. But for now, with the coffee as the spear, the tip of the spear, keep it simple, keep it easy. And if I've complicated things, then we're going down the wrong road. And if it's complicated, I'm out. If it gets complicated, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because it won't duplicate as fast. But if it's easy and it's simple, and anybody can do it, then anybody can do it, right? And so, Rick, I wanted you to just maybe briefly talk about, this is incredible what you're about to see here. Where is the company now? It's 17 years old, but when I saw this, it blew my mind. And Randy has seen this so many times that he came in the room after and said, Shane, did he talk about this and this and this? I said, yeah, he had the whole thing down. So tell us about where we are right now, and where you see at this point in history and what's about to happen.
Okay, I'm trying to share my phone, and it should come up in a second. Hold on one quick second while I click this back in. Sometimes it's depending on the Zoom. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Perfect.
Okay, awesome. So I want to start, and I'm gonna shorten this in terms of the time it takes to go through this. This is a longer presentation at some point, but I want to give everybody an idea. So what you're seeing here, I want to start with an equation, because I think it's important that you understand our motivation and where we're grounding all of our efforts. Belief leads to activity. Activity leads to volume. Volume leads to bigger checks. Bigger checks create more belief, that lead to more activity, and so on. And the reason why this is so important is most companies are out chasing volume. We need to increase volume. We need to increase volume. So that what they have is they have an incentive plan. They have a promotion. They have a new product. They have a new country. And all they're doing is they're getting these blips of success, and they're not addressing the root of growth in our industry, and that's belief. Belief is the key. And so everything we do, we realize affects the belief of each one of you and your families and people that are that you associate with. And that's a real important designation of where our motivation is. Everything is about belief. So what Shane was asking, if you see here, those are the 4 levels or the 4 stages of development of an MLM company, and actually almost any other company if you look in any industry. And you'll see the formulation stage, then the concentration stage, and then momentum, and then stabilization. Some people call these different names, but for the sake of this conversation. So the reason why I've outlined this is you see those lines in the beginning. In the first 2 years, most companies' developments, 98% of most new companies, of all new companies, go out of business in the first 2 years. In the third year, 90% of the remaining 2% go out of business. And that's just statistics. It's just facts. And there's a lot of reasons why that happens. And so the reason why I bring this up is when I saw Live Pure, and you'll see the next line across that formulation stage, it says Live Pure 2022. What I saw a year ago was I saw a company that had some growth, but had never really passed out of formulation. 17 years or 16 years of development of laying these strong footings for not just a 2-story building, but a skyscraper. And nobody sets out to be in formulation for 17 years. It's not what, you don't go into it doing that. But the blessing of this is that you've got a company that's proven. The products are not on trial. Mr. Jung is not on trial. The company is not on trial. What might be on trial is your opinion of whether or not where we are in this development. And that's what I'm proposing for you. So that's what I saw. What you're going to see now is the next line across is Live Pure in 2023. I believe that we're right in towards the last third of concentration. And what this is, and this is a perfect reflection, this call and the simplicity of the duplication model is going to throw us from concentration into momentum. By the way, the line that separates concentration and momentum, that's the area where is the third largest percentage of companies go out of business. Because what happens is they go through formulation and concentration too fast, and they don't have the infrastructure to be able to carry into momentum. One of our goals, as I came in here last December and Randy joined us in February, was to create redundancies in all of our manufacturing, all of our distribution, all of our merchant processing, so that we don't have those hiccups. And what I said earlier about inventory management is a big, big deal when it comes to getting ready for momentum. If you don't have the funds, if you're not cash flow positive and don't have the funds to support the purchase of inventory, then you can't keep up with momentum. That's what a lot of new companies face. So I believe that we're in the perfect spot. If I could draw a circle around where we are right now and that line that separates and goes into momentum, that's the perfect time to get involved with a company, not in the beginning. The statistics are not in your favor if you do that in the beginning. And so for me, well, that's my beautiful wife, sorry. I'm not sorry about that. I'm just sorry the picture came up. So what I also wanted to share with you is the rest of this plan. So if you understand that, people say, well, where are you going next? And I think this is really important. And this comes into the next equation. Belief plus intention plus action equals success. Intention is the key here, because intention to me means it has to be followed by action. Plus it means holding true to a plan. What many companies do is I'll use Mexico as an example. Mexico is so attractive to so many companies because we share borders. It has a lot of people. They love network marketing, and coffee will kill it in Mexico. We already know this. But how do you leverage Mexico? You don't leverage it by sending one leader down there and saying, we're going to open Mexico and expect to have a massive success. And so we're holding true to a plan, and that plan is laid out for you right here. In 2023, the plan is 50% growth, to be considered one of the fastest growing companies in the industry, and to get our swagger. What is swagger? It's belief plus bold equals swagger. And you know the feeling when you believe in something so strongly. Like, is there any doubt that Shane has swagger about where this is heading? I mean, that's where it comes from. It's that belief plus energy plus being bold. Next year, the goal is 150 million. By 2028, 500 million. You'll notice on here, I'm not suggesting we're going to be $1 billion company. I'm so tired of, and I hope you are too, of startup companies that the owners stand there and say, we're going to be $1 billion company, and they have no infrastructure, they have no history, they maybe just came out of the field, and I'm just not that guy. And so do I believe we're going to get there? Yes. But and our plan is 500 million over the next 3 to 5 years. And if that's meaningful to you, I think that can create many, many, many millionaires. And on the right-hand side, you'll see this very, very specific plan of how we're going to get there. Number one is leverage. We have some amazing leaders, and over the last 4 years before I got here, many of those had just been disengaged. They didn't go anywhere because they love the products and they love the company. They just became disengaged and focused on other investment opportunities. They're back in the game. They're back focused. Shane had an opportunity of talking to one of our top money earners, and he's 100% back in the business. In fact, they're doing a training right now as we speak on another Zoom. The second is attract new leaders through that leveraging of our current leaders. We're in the process of that now. That's where that swagger comes from. The third stage, or I should say the third piece of this development, is demographic growth. Number one, you'll notice U.S. Latino Hispanic. When you get U.S. Latino Hispanic market about 400,000 or 500,000 a month consistently over 3, 4, 5 months, that's when you have leverage to go into Mexico. That's when it becomes powerful. That leverage becomes powerful. The next is U.S. Chinese. The third is Canadian Chinese. And that also helps leverage you into the Chinese markets. Number 4 is geographic. Right now, we're shipping product through, well, let me backtrack. We have operations in the U.S., we have operations in South Korea, we have operations in Thailand, and a very, very small operation in Ghana. We are also shipping product through the personal use model to Japan, Canada, and Australia. And so obviously those are low-hanging fruit. If you're already shipping product there, we have distributors there. That's an easy expansion. Not easy, but it makes sense. You have a leveraged expansion opportunity. And then I wrote Mexico on here because once the U.S. Latino market hits those goals, then Mexico will be an easy expansion. And then the last piece is M&A, which is merger and acquisition. Obviously, there's consolidation happening in our industry. There's a lot taking place. You're either a buyer or a seller in this marketplace. We're buyers. And so for us, about mid-year next year will make a lot of sense in terms of expanding our marketplace. We have a very simple business model. Shane, I'm looking at you right now. You bring a company to the table. We make that acquisition. That's your team. Very simple business model. And it's worked. I've done this no less than 12 times in other companies, and it's something that I believe is going to aid in our expansion, especially between next year and 2028. And then because we have 80 products, what is the tip of the spear? You'll notice the catalyst down there at the bottom. Sorry, one more time. You'll see the catalysts down at the bottom are, well, I'll just tell you that. Go back on camera. Our Magic and Magic Plus, which is our weight loss product that we've come out with this year. Amazing products, getting some incredible results. And then the coffee coming in around February of this next year. And that will be very, very exciting. Let me just add 2 more pieces to this, Shane, and then very quickly. And that is, many of you are hearing about this for the first time on this call today. How do you get involved now when coffee isn't going to hit till February? Well, we have a lot of great products. Get your spot, get active, learn about a few of the products that might interest you. You might say, what is your health challenge? Or are you interested in losing weight? Do you know anybody who might want to lose weight? Raise your hand if you know anybody who might want to lose weight. We have a state-of-the-art weight loss product, and you can get started today. And then when February comes, you're already positioned. You have a team. I look at Coca-Cola. When they have a new flavor, that distribution is millions worldwide. Are you better off when coffee launches? You wait until then? Well, you're welcome to. But I think you're better off getting started now, getting a spot, getting it built out, getting an organization in place. So when the coffee hits, you have massive distribution. So that's my opinion. I would ask the question, as I drew these out, have you ever been, if you're in the network marketing industry, have you ever sat where a company executive actually maps out a strategy that clear and that transparent for you? Probably not. Yeah, that's not a pat on the back. It's just, that's our commitment. We're transparent. We know what we have. We're willing to share that with you. You know where we're starting because you get an idea from the growth and the numbers that I put on there. This is the beginning of a revolution, a coffee revolution. I'm excited about it. So back to you, Shane.
Awesome. So that's been a great call. Look, there's going to be a lot of questions. I'm going to do a call just like this every Saturday at the same time. So this will be the where everybody can get together. And then during the week, I'll be doing calls with different leaders that need, some personal attention and so on. So that's going to be the schedule. We will get all the questions answered. It's not complicated. It's pretty simple. And I was just doing a little bit of math, but if two a day, like getting 2 coffee drinkers a day, just to agree, not to pay anything, but just to agree to, when the coffee comes in, they'll buy a couple boxes just to give it a try. One time. That's all we need is give it a try one time. That's your one step, by the way. I hope you wrote that down. One step training. What is it? Give it a try just once. Just give it one time. So we got 120 days. Let's call it 120 days, or I'm sorry, 60 days, but there's 2 boxes, right? You want them to buy a box or two. Most coffee drinkers are going to go through a minimum of 3 boxes per coffee drinker. So if there's 2 people in the house, they're going to go through 6 boxes a month. The math on this is going to get it's going to get amazing. But I was just looking at just doing a little bit of math, and between now and February, there's no reason why you cannot develop enough customers to have 8 cases. That's the goal by February, to have 8 cases worth of orders ready to go. And if you have 8 cases of coffee ready to go when that product hits the market, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be 2024 is going to be a big year for a lot of you guys that were wondering what the heck are you going to do, right? And so I'm excited. I'm fired up. There's going to be a lot of questions, and everybody's going to want to ask about this or that. Keep it simple. It's easy. It's just coffee, all right? It's nothing more complicated than coffee. People drink it. People love it. And I want to thank everyone for taking the time to come out tonight. I want to thank Randy. And I also want to thank Rick for his generous contribution to this event, to our first live broadcast here. So with that, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great night wherever you are. And we'll see you at the top, okay? Wait for the coffee. Take care.
See you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
See ya.